What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real reason Rikishi wasn't involved in Jay vs Jimmy's feud, a new AEW show in the works, Charlotte Flair is off to Hollywood, Rey's subtle revenge, Undertaker is furious about this, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. And now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at AJ Styles looking for a match against The Rock. AJ Styles would love to wrestle The Rock, but only on one condition. Styles, whose recent match at Backlash France against undisputed champion Cody Rhodes, earned 5 stars from Dave Meltzer. He told Sports Illustrated what would have to happen for Styles vs The Rock to happen. Of course I'm interested, but only if that means The Rock is turning babyface. I'm not interested in being a mediocre bad guy. I want to bring this to a whole new level. Styles, who is now playing a heel, told Sports Illustrated what his goals are as a wrestler. As bad, ugly, and mean as a heel is supposed to be, I'm going to be that guy. When I step into an arena, I want more booze than Dominic Mysterio. That's what I'm after. That's my job, and I want to do it better than anybody. It's interesting that Dominic Mysterio is the gauge that the Phenomenal One is using to compare himself in terms of heel heat. That's just another reminder of how much Dirty Dom has perfected his role as a heel. Do you think the WWE book an AJ Styles vs Rock match, or does there have to be a big about plan for the final boss? Next up, Sami Zayn still looking for a world title win. Or could Sami Zayn become world champion? In 2023, some Sami supporters believed his Elimination Chamber bout against then undisputed champion Roman Reigns was his best chance at reaching the top of the WWE mountain. While Roman dashed Sami's world title dreams, the current Intercontinental Champion recently told the Daily Mail that he hasn't written off his dream of becoming world champion. "I like to win the world title once before I call it a day, there's no question, but I don't live and die by that. It'd be great, and I'd really appreciate people saying that they'd love to see it. I'd love to see it too, and I hope it happens, but if it doesn't, thank you just the same, because it's been amazing." Interestingly, Sami told the Mail that he believes he had a better chance becoming world champion under Vince McMahon than Triple H. "I think things were a lot more unpredictable because of the nature of Vince's week-to-week kind of approach, that sometimes a marble would just fall in the right hole and now you're champion, whereas with Hunter, I think it's much more he has a long-term vision, and if you're not part of that vision, then the chances of breaking into that vision are much slimmer." What do you think of Sami's take on the differences between Vince and Hunter? Do you think there's still hope for Sami Zayn winning a world title, or has he gone as far as he can in the WWE as far as champions go? Next up, the real reason why Rikishi wasn't involved in the Jay vs Jimmy feud. The WWE's long-awaited match between Jimmy and Jey Uso took place at WrestleMania 40, but there was one key figure noticeably absent: their Hall of Fame father Rikishi. Rikishi has repeatedly shared his thoughts on his son's feud via social media, occasionally even hinting at getting involved. This led to fans thinking the Master of the Stinkface would make an appearance at Mania or in the shows leading up to it. However, that didn't happen, and now Jey Uso is explaining why Rikishi wasn't there and how he could have helped build up the bout. "Hell yeah, I always wanted my dad involved, whether it be a referee. I just don't think my dad could have kept up, just getting up and down, because the referees, they're doing like push-up burpees the whole match too, and they're getting a great workout. Maybe like a go-home promo, just some kind of cool promo segment. There might be another time for it." Main Event Jay's comments to Mail Sport invite the question why Rikishi couldn't have appeared at ringside, serving as a neutral or perhaps even biased observer. While it's great to see WWE superstars and legends commenting on social media, Rikishi's remarks create false hope for some fans that he'd get into the fray. Next up, a new AEW show in the works. It looks like AEW is working on a new show, but just what the content will be remains unknown. Fightful Select is reporting there's a pilot for a new AEW related program with WBD that was set to be announced for social channels this week. It was described as not being a reality series. Does this mean that AEW will launch another wrestling show? AEW currently has 5 hours of programming, and for some fans, it's just too much, especially when the two of the shows of Rampage and Collision don't feature marquee matches, but instead focus on glorified squash matches and occasional competitive matches. On a related note, PW Insider reports there's still no word on whether Warner Bros. Discovery plans to renew its deal with AEW when their contract expires. Fightful Select recently noted that we're told that the announcement of a new deal is expected to be kept very close to the vest, and summer or fall could be a more likely announcement point. The exclusivity window between AEW and WBD continues into the summer, though we don't have a firm date on when that ends. Fightful also reports that AEW and WBD have been discussing bringing back AEW pay-per-views to the Max streaming service. While AEW's TV ratings have dropped in overall numbers, the promotion's pay-per-views continue to bring in strong numbers, even as the promotion continues to adding the number of shows. One would think that AEW would need a significant payout from WBD to move its profitable pay-per-views to a streaming service unless Max intends to charge extra for each show rather than incorporating them into its streaming service, much as Peacock does with WWE PLEs. Next up, Charlotte Flair to Hollywood. Add Charlotte Flair to the list of WWE superstars being recruited by Hollywood. A new report from Deadline states Freddie Rodriguez, 6 Feet Under, and Ashley Elizabeth Flair, WWE superstar Charlotte Flair, are set to lead the Averted Vision Pictures indie horror thriller You Lose You Die, written by Carlos Spiff TV Suarez, who will also make his feature directional debut. Pre-production is currently underway. Our fans may recall the Queen appeared in 2017's Psych the movie, and it appears that Charlotte has a major role in the film. They described the film as You Lose You Die follows sociopath tech expert Mr. Fantastic, aka Rodriguez, who runs a popular show on the dark web with 2 other sociopath tech experts, Miss Perfect, aka Flair, and Mr. Creep, Anthony Alvarez. On the show, thousands of viewers vote on games and challenges for prisoners to participate in. If the prisoners lose, viewers vote on the weapons the sociopaths use to kill them. Now, this is certainly good news for Flair, but what will it mean to WWE fans if she gets other roles? She recently signed a new deal with WWE, and while she's currently recovering from surgery, her fans are eager to see what's next for her when she steps back into the ring. Next up, Rey's subtle revenge. It looks like Carlito's recent draft to Raw was no accident. LWO leader Rey Mysterio recently dropped a bombshell during Raw Digital exclusive where he told Kathy Kelly how Carlito betrayed his homies to the LWO and took out Dragon Lee when Lee got the nod to team with Rey at WrestleMania 40. Kathy, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I did some work behind the scenes and pulled a couple of strings to make sure that Carlito got drafted to Raw with the LWO. It's time for Carlito to pay for what he did to us. Carlito, it's time for you to man up and face me in the ring. We kinda love it when wrestling actually explains itself. Next up, The Undertaker is furious with this. The problem of so-called fans rushing wrestlers with stacks of photos and merch to sign hasn't gone unnoticed by the dead man. During an appearance on Busted Open Radio, the Phenom opened up about how he got back at a shameless huckster trying to make money from his autographs. First, The Undertaker discussed his disgust with people swarming wrestlers for endless autographs. Pittsburgh was the worst for the marks, coming out with the huge binders of 50 pictures of the same guy. If I'm by myself traveling minus my family, I try to be as accommodating as I possibly can to my fans. It's part of it. I've never ever considered those people to be fans. They're trying to make a buck. It drives me absolutely crazy. The Undertaker recalled how a man with various Undertaker photos approached him, but Taker brushed him off, knowing that the man was looking to sell the photos. What the man repeatedly did next angered Taker as the person sent a 6-year-old girl to get his autograph. Here she comes and I'm like, this son of a bitch, this dog, right? She went to somebody on the other side of me. She went to the wrong person first. I could hear her say, Mr. Undertaker, will you sign? I say, I'm him. What can I do for you, honey? She goes, oh, I'm a big fan. Will you sign this for me? I'm thinking this son of a gun sends his poor girl over here who doesn't even know who I am. But he got some payback on the man, saying, I say, you know what, of course I'll sign that for you. I think I wrote on there, hey, you can go F off on the picture. I put the picture face down in her hand and I said, you hold this picture just like this and you take it back over there and hand it to your dad. She walked all the way back over to him and hands him this picture. He pulled that picture up and he read what I wrote. He was freaking pissed. Don't use a kid to try. It rubs me the wrong way. And finally, Snitsky punts another baby. And last but not least, it looks like former superstar Gene Snitsky is a repeat offender whose apparent obsession with punting babies once again got the best of him. Snitsky, who still shows up on the occasional indie shows, dropped by the last match Pro Wrestling Rock Experience. Fellow WWE legend Mickie James was in the ring and a stroller containing a baby just happened to be there. Snitsky took the baby and teased kicking it as James couldn't believe what Gene was about to do, and sure enough, he punted the fake baby into the crowd. Well, there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.